All right, folks, time to follow the bouncing ball. That is Spalding. And you know, if you're in the East Liverpool area, they've got that great Dunham's up in Calcutta that I absolutely love. And I picked up a lot of gear there. And they also have the regional stuff, the Potters, the Beaver Local Fighting Beavers, Oak Glen, Wellsville Tigers. Absolutely love it. Now, basketball. That's what we're going to talk first with John Babalik. He'll be bartending Sunday night at Farello's on Mulberry Street, and they've got those dinner specials tonight if you can still make it. They're going to be there for a little bit longer, and also on Saturday night. And all of your favorite fine wine and spirits and those great beers, too. But more importantly, it is old world recipes, authentic Italian cuisine that you're going to love. Okay, John, you said it last night when we talked. Kevin Durant, what a difference he has been, at least for game one. Untouched, in the lane, up over, slamming the basketball, coming up with key rebounds, dishing the ball off. Steph Curry pretty much was silent, but he didn't really need to even put the sneakers on because it was all Kevin Durant, and they just simply ran over Cleveland in game one at the Oracle Arena last night. Your thoughts?
I hope it was just rust on the Cavaliers' part, but on the other end, Golden State was in the same boat, but Cleveland looked like they haven't. Now, I know they haven't played for a week. They looked like they hadn't played for a month. They looked like they were a step slow and had a hard time getting in any rhythm offensively. Didn't do a very good job of shooting the ball on the perimeter. And they got to get everybody involved besides Kyrie and LeBron if they're going to be successful.
Yeah, Kevin Love came up with goose eggs across the board, just couldn't get it done. And LeBron had 28, but, you know, he can't be a one-man show, and he's been saying that all year, especially when it comes to defense. And you think of athletes like Kyrie Irving that you just mentioned, you think their defense would have been able to do something, but is Kevin Durant that kind of player? Do you put him in the same category as a LeBron James right now as one of the best in the NBA? And after that performance, how can you argue that?
Yeah, it doesn't take long to call roll, Robbie, when you're calling the best players. His name's certainly within the top, 5 or 6 anyway. They had a hard time matching up. You would just think that that would be a match with LeBron and him, and then let the other guys take care of themselves. But I think you get in a position when you do that you worry about getting somebody in foul trouble, and you take away from the other aspects of the game. But they certainly got to do a little better job on Durant and letting him run free.
Well, they are going to.
He did everything he wanted to do last night without a whole lot of resistance.
Game 2 coming up Sunday night on ABC Oracle Arena. They'll tip it off at 8 o'clock. What do you look for? Very methodic, just trying to feel their way, or do you expect them to try to come out and land a big punch early, Cleveland?
Cleveland?
Yeah.
I think they got to go back and look. They probably went in and looked at the film today, and maybe the game plan they had set into motion last night is something they may want to take a look at. With the Warriors, they got so many offensive threats, and they didn't get a whole lot from Klay Thompson yesterday either. Basically, Durant and the point guard,
Seth Curry.
They got the points, and Klay Thompson didn't contribute a lot, and I think Cleveland might want to do something about maybe slowing the tempo or controlling the tempo a little bit more.
Do you think that they really need to try to work the ball inside a little bit to get into a good rhythm, to build some momentum before they just start taking these shots from left field?
I think so. I think you start. The game works inside out, so you do the job inside and get some points, and they got to double you, and then you kick the ball out, and somebody's going to get open looks. I think you got to get Love involved a little bit more. I know he did a good job on the glass last night. I think he had 21 rebounds, pretty good, but they got to get a little more scoring out of him.
Hey, listen, I'm sure that Frank Chan would have loved to have had you instead of with the Wellsville Tigers, the Beaver Falls Tigers, but he did go on and win the state championship. And I remember watching that game on WQED, public broadcasting back then, carrying that championship game in which they won the WPIL state championship, WPIL championship. Oscar Jackson, Gary Gooseby at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. Talked to Digger Dawson earlier today. He will be enshrined into the Lou Holtz Upper Ohio Valley Hall of Fame June 12th at the Florian Hall in Steubenville. And I know the Bellino family, the Yanni family, and the Chan family, it's familia, and you spend a lot of time with them. So talk about that family and also talk about the basketball prowess of East Liverpool native Frank Chan, who's headed to the Hall of Fame. Lou Holtz's Upper Ohio Valley Hall of Fame June 12th.
You know what, Robbie? I got a chance to meet Frank a few years ago when his brother was still alive. Mike, they'd meet down at the restaurant and eat. And he was real good friends with Coach Dawson, and we had some good talks. And I remember sitting there one night, we were talking about, we played up there my sophomore year, and he says, "Oh no, we never played well." So I said, "Yeah, you did, Coach." And I said, "I was a sophomore that year." I said, "I remember playing up there." He was convinced we didn't, so we called Coach Dawson, and he came down. I had to bring the scorebook down and show him that we actually played the game. But it was pretty. He's a good guy. I guess he's a great coach. I only had a chance to go against him once, like I said, when I was a sophomore. But I know he threw out some great teams, and he's very, very deserving of going into that Hall of Fame.
I got to tell you, I've always had a close affection with Beaver Falls. Early radio days, my brother-in-law, John Manzetti, played there in the mid-'60s. Joe Namath, of course, my all-time favorite. And when I found out years later that Frank Chan happened to be from East Liverpool, he was another one that I idolized, especially remembering that great 70 team. It was almost fate that I'd end up someday doing a little basketball action on the radio in East Liverpool, so it's all good. Hey, now let's switch gears. Penguins tomorrow night, NBC Sports Network, Doc Emmerich, Pierre McGuire, Eddie Olczyk on the TV down there at that beautiful place that is Forello. So get down there for one of those dinner specials, sit back, relax, and belly up to the wonderful bar and sit there and enjoy some great conversation with Mr. Duffy and company and Lou Bellino and watch the Pens. It seems to me that everybody's trying to follow suit what Ottawa did. Neutral zone, trap, pinch, slow them down. I know that they haven't really done extremely well. 7 goals, okay, much better than some of those one goal and 2 goal games against Ottawa. But Nashville, no matter what they say or what they're thinking, and PK Subban saying today, that Rene is still one of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League, they got to be on the heels of their skates right now, just praying that they can figure something out for Game 3 to get at least back into this thing. Because if they lose tomorrow, it's all over but the golf season.
I tell you what, Robbie, I am so impressed with the job Mike Sullivan does with the Penguins. I really turned into a hockey buff. A couple of my buddies that I work for, a couple ADs, we've had season tickets the last 3 or 4 years, so we get like 8 or 10 games a year. And I moan and groan about paying a lot of money to go see those games, but I tell you what, you don't mind paying because those kids from the Penguins, they leave it on. Those kids play hard, and even if they lose, at least you leave the arena knowing that it wasn't because of lack of effort. I'm a firm believer, and I could be totally wrong, but the Penguins winning 2 games, the first 2 games of the series, they're still a 7-game series. I have a hard time believing anybody in the NHL can beat them 4 out of 5 games.
All right.
You can't see it happen.
Listen, folks, for all my friends in Wellsville, Bud Senaviva and them, and John will appreciate this when he sees the video. Here's my impression of the great Bevo Francis. Are you ready? That one picture that I think of all the time. Right there. All right, folks. John, it's a pleasure. We'll try to catch up with you. Save us some meatballs for me, and have a great sports weekend, okay?
You too, buddy. Thanks, Robbie. I appreciate it.
Good night, everybody.